Hey, this is the Par 64 guy, and guess what? Time of the year it is. Yeah, I know. Weather's getting cold. Got to get out the snowblower equipment, and as you've seen in my previous videos, I did have a 1962 Snowbird. The Snowbird has migrated to a new home. This one I acquired from a relative. It was just sitting around, they weren't using it. So I figured, well, let me take a look at it. One thing I did notice is the fuel line is rotted. It was leaking, so that's today's project, is to replace the fuel line on this here. So you can see here, I put a little tape on it so I could at least keep it from leaking too bad, long enough so I can run it and make sure that it was actually running. No sense digging into this if there were other problems that kept it from going. This piece is also pretty badly dry rotted, so I'll just replace both of these sections of fuel line here. Alright, so let's start by taking off the old fuel line. Tank is empty, just so we don't have a mess. Just grab these and kind of wiggle it, rotate it down once it expands. Get them down out of the way. Now we should be able to. There we go. Okay. If you've got tips for more easily removing fuel lines from components, definitely leave them in the comments so that other people can benefit from your knowledge. All right, so let's go to the other side. Slide this out of the way. Just watch out, there is a ground line here. Don't want to break that off. That ground line in there, don't want to break that off. So let's just tuck this down out of the way. Now we have a clear shot at the fuel line. Pull it out of the way. Give it a little twist to try and break it free, loosen it up. There we go. And we're off. Pull the clamp off. Don't want to lose that. And fuel line's out. So I picked this up from a local hardware store. Just got to make sure there are different styles of fuel line. I had to make sure I got the 1/4 inch inside, 1/2 inch outside. I measured the old one. This one was the closest they had. Alright, so it kind of goes in and up, so see if I can feed this in. I'm trying to do it the lazy way. I don't want to have to take the blower housing off and all the other stuff. So let's see if we can navigate this over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house. Let's see if that went through. Yep, there it is. Let's see if I can snag the very end of it here and guide it out. Get the ground wire out of the way. There we go. Okay, so this is about where it needs to be. Alright, let's install the clamp on the line, get it attached to the carburetor. Task of attaching the fuel line took around 6 minutes. I'm thinking I probably should have removed the carburetor so I could twist and push more effectively. Okay, so that way that's clamping on to hold the tube in place. I want to clean this off a little first. I checked my stock of stuff and I don't really have anything I trust, like kerosene. I don't want to use gasoline, but I do have some seafoam. I'm going to use a little of that, see if that works. I don't want to use carbon choke cleaner. I've been told, and I think I learned the hard way there on another piece of equipment. It was an older piece of equipment with rubber seals. The carbon choke cleaner actually destroyed the rubber seals. They swelled up like a sponge, and I ended up having to get a new carburetor. So I'm going to try and avoid using that from now on. But that actually looks good. Looks like it's taking the gunk off from the old tube. So I think that worked. Okay, so I need to cut a piece of fuel line for the replacement here. I don't have a thing, so I'm just going to mark that. Just go nice, and you want to go nice with a nice sharp blade and make it a nice as square as possible. Just go nice and easy. This should be on something other than a plastic bucket that the knife can cut through too, but hey, I'm in a rush to get this done. It's cold out and I don't want to be outside any longer than I have to, so. Alright, there we go. So let's get that on there. Okay. Push that on. Put the clamps in place. That should be good, so that way they're accessible if need be. Okay. Okay, robo grips are a little too compliant, and they're not squeezing these enough. And unfortunately, when I checked, I don't know where my pliers are, my regular pliers. So needle nose have to do, and they're not doing overly well. I need something that can get me a better grip, and unfortunately, I'm not finding anything. So let's move this to this side, and then we'll slide them up. Okay. There we go. We just want that to clamp so that way it doesn't let any of the fuel out. Alright, now we locate this so we have a nice gentle curve. I'm going to go right about here. Okay, so we're going to go right on that second E right there. Alright, since I'm missing a clamp, I'm going to forego putting the clamp on this one, but I at least want to test this, make sure everything is good. So I'm just going to put the fuel line on here, and I'll have to order a clamp. So with the new tube, new fuel line, it shouldn't be too much of an issue, but let's do that just for now. Here, feed that back through here. This goes on like that. Okay. Let's just put one in. I want to make sure this thing will actually start. Alright, I have just enough gas in there to make sure it hits the tube here. I want to make sure that we are not leaking. Okay, so fuel valve works too. We obviously started it, so we're good. Well, that does it for another project. I'm at 99%. I still need to get that fuel clamp and put that on, but once I get that, we'll be all set. And as always, know your limits. If it's something you don't think you can do, call on the professionals, but hopefully my videos will give you some inspiration as to, hey, I think I can do that. But again, take a look at your application, take a look at your problem, know your limits. If you don't feel comfortable, don't push yourself and risk doing more damage or getting hurt. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, that notification bell, hit that like too if you really like the video, and also too, please leave me some feedback. I am more than appreciative when people have suggestions, they point out things I did wrong, because that's one thing I don't want is me to show somebody the wrong way to do something. If you see something that, hey, if you could do that better, like, if there's something to help get the fuel line on faster that you found that works, put it in the comments. That way other people will know and they'll be able to do an even better job than I did. Thank you so much for watching. This is Par 64 Guy. See you later.